Welcome back to my channel. This is my sister Julie, and she is here with me in Korea to celebrate 2021. We are gonna have a home party. Yeah, that's right. Woohoo! So in approximately how many hours? I don't even know what time. Is it like 8 or 9?
It's probably like 9.
In I think about 3 hours, it is gonna be January 1st. Since we can't go out and celebrate, which we're really bummed about, but also we want to make sure that we are staying safe, we decided to have a little home party, and we thought you guys could join us. So grab yourself some snacks. We did some takeout, and we got some Papa John's pizza and pad thai. We got some chips from the store, a couple bottles of wine, and of course dessert. We got chocolate cake
in the fridge too.
Yes, chocolate cake and ice cream. So
grab a snack.
Go Zach and join us because we're gonna have a college edition story time.
Where we spill the tea.
Yeah, so we're gonna spill some tea. But we're gonna be talking, okay, so basically Julie and I went to the same university. We went to a private Christian university in California. That's all we're gonna share. And we had quite a different college experience.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
And so my sister actually graduated early this year before
Class of 2020.
And I graduated 2017, 3 years ago. I sound so old! But yes, let's get started with the questions. I'm quite excited. I'm also really hungry, so I'm gonna be munching on my food. So excuse me if I'm being a little rude, but you know, join us with food and let's have a great time! Part 1. Shall we get started? Alright. So I thought we'd go off pretty strong. We're gonna share our wildest college experience. You'll really get to know our dynamic and who we are through this story time. You wanna go first? Or should I go first?
I think you should go first.
Oh, come on.
No, like best for last, you know?
I have so many wild memories. At one point in my college career,
You're already laughing.
I had 3 jobs on campus and a full-time internship. Actually, not full-time, it was part-time. 3 full days of internship. By the way, I was a full-time student. And I was rushing to go to my job at work, but because I had an internship 3 days of the week, I lived abroad. I lived off campus, and I was driving into campus, and I was in a little rush because I need to get to my job on time. I got caught by the police for a speeding ticket. I was barely speeding, and he had a motorcycle.
They don't just turn on the lights. Normally, don't they just turn on the
lights?
lights?
I was like, pull over. And I was like, damn it. And I started sobbing, and I was like, please just let me go. I'm a poor college student, like trying to make money on the side.
Way too much of that.
And he said no.
That's your wildest experience. Also, where we go to school, it's like initiation to get a speeding ticket. Like everyone on, like it's part of like, yes it is, like everyone gets a speeding ticket.
I don't know,
maybe your class. There was like a viral thing that went around in our class, or not just in our class, but like around our school, and it was like a bingo, and it was like a list of like all these things that like are common, and one of it was getting a speeding ticket on.
Oh really?
Like literally so many people get speeding tickets.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
I got one too.
Okay, this is not really the wildest, okay? That was probably my wildest, but since I guess it wasn't wild enough for my sister, I am gonna tell a better story. So while we were studying abroad, I firsthand experienced college drinking. This was my sophomore year in college. It was like, I guess, socially embarrassing because basically we went to this bar slash club, and it was my first time going to a bar. Sounds really funny.
Ever? Or like
yeah, well, okay, I was 19 turning 20. I was still pretty young. But basically we went and everybody was getting a drink, and I don't really know what to get. And everybody was getting tequila shots, you know, it's college. It's either beer or tequila.
Wait, so this is your first time having a hard liquor, right?
Yeah. Tequila, there's like this routine that you do. What do? You get the tequila, they give you the salt shaker and the lime, right? And I was like, okay, like I'm probably not gonna get one tonight. I just want to see everyone like get drunk. So my friend and I, like a group of us, sat at the bar and she started pouring salt on her hands. So I was like, is she drunk or something? Like, what the heck? And
why are they passing salt around?
Yeah, they're passing
there's
salt
no
around.
food
Like, I
here.
thought we were drinking. Like, there's no French fries here, you know? And so she was like pouring it here, and I thought, oh, she must be drunk. Let me clean that off of her. So I was like, and then she's like, what the hell? And I was like, what? I'm cleaning it off. She's like, don't touch it. Like, I'm gonna need it, you know? And so I was like, okay. So I just kind of like stepped away, and I was like, okay, you do you, right? And then they're like, okay, ready guys? And then everybody was like, shot. Was it this?
No, I looked at first shot in the line.
Lick the salt. See, I already forgot because I haven't had tequila in such a long time. So you lick the salt and then you drink it and then you have the lime. And that's when I was like, ah, so this is how y'all drink it. But that was pretty embarrassing for me. Like socially, because everybody knew how to do it and I was just like,
Like,
I literally was like,
sweetheart, you got a little salt.
yeah, I was like, honey, why do you keep spilling salt there?
Let me help you out.
Yeah. Alright, so what's your wildest story?
I guess I get back Halloween. That was kind of a crazy night. I mean,
Ooh,
who doesn't have a crazy night on Halloween? It's either crazy or bad, you know? So I was at a different school and I was at a party at that school, and this school had a big like Greek life. And so obviously with Greek life there's a lot of parties, and it's a big public school with a giant Greek life. So I was at a party, and obviously you go to like house to house kind of ish.
Yeah.
Go to like you pregame at one house and then you go to the other, and then maybe if it's bad you leave to go to another, but most of the time you kind of like stick with a group, and then you know. So we were at one of this house, and this is when prank videos were a little bit popular. And I didn't what
Vine videos.
oh yeah, there was Vine back then.
Vine.
Holy. But anyway, so we were at this house, we were having a good time, whatever, everything's chill, and my friend and I were just like hanging out. Honestly, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And I remember it got hot, and so my friend and I went to the balcony. These guys like come up with us with like cameras.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like, and honestly I think they were just like frat bros, like just making a stupid video, or like a video for like their chapter, you know, or like a project. Like they seemed like students. They didn't seem like weirdos or like people who were just like randoms, you know.
Right.
They were our age, like dressed like us, like nothing, no red flags. So they came up and they had like a little nightlight, simple equipment, and just like a normal like video camera.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like heavy duty, like it was like all just like handheld and everything. And they come up and they're like, oh, like, you want to be in our video? And like, you know,
Yeah.
I've had a couple of drinks, and I'm just like, my friend are like, yeah, and we're just like, whatever, you know, it's probably not gonna go on the internet, just like guys filming a video.
Wait, yeah, what happened?
Do you know the story?
No, I don't.
Wait, you don't? Okay, so then he was like, okay, I'm just gonna ask you a question, and then he asks us a question, and basically he just asked us a very kind of like a rude but also funny question. It was like a question that like was intended to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
And so he asked that, and like, I don't know, honestly our reaction, my friend and I just laughed.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh, haha, like, and then they stopped recording. They're like, oh, like, you guys you're chill, like, give us a little twerk, or like shake your booty or something like that. And I literally turned around, but I didn't twerk, I was just like, like cute little shake, you know. Anyway, so then I literally, the night ended, it was fun, it was a normal night. Didn't think about that video ever again. Like, honestly, I really just thought like some guy just like going around making like Snapchat videos, whatever. I really didn't think about it again. Right. And then like 2-3 weeks later, or maybe even a month later, some girl who didn't go out with us that night, like some random girl, sends me a link to a video, and she's like, what the F, you're in this guy's video on YouTube. And then I watched the video, and then there I freaking was shaking my booty on the internet.
God. Hey, you never told me about this now. Yeah. I have to go see this video.
I don't have the link, and I tried looking for it a couple of years ago, but I can't find it. I don't know if he deleted his channel, like, because prank videos are not really popular anymore. But yeah, like, but it's so weird how some random girl came across it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it had like a couple 100,000 views.
Wow.
So I was like,
who are you, Julie? You've never told me about
Wait, really? Yeah,
no.
It was on the internet.
We went abroad together. Together and separate. Before he transferred in, I was abroad studying in Italy for a year. And, London for the summer, and then Italy for a year. And then my sister came in and she studied a semester in Argentina. And then after I graduated, I did an internship and she studied abroad in London. So we were together then.
Okay, that was really confusing, so I'm gonna break it down to you. So she went to London for the summer and then Italy for the school academic year.
Right after that.
So she did that on her own, and then later I came into the school.
Yeah.
And then this is when we studied abroad together over a different summer, and we went to London. She went to London again, and I went, like, we went together.
We were doing different things. I was interning,
we were doing
and she
different
was
things.
studying.
Yeah, so, and then after that she graduated, and then it was my year to go abroad, and I went to Argentina for the academic duration.
Yeah.
So in the summer we went to London together, and then she went to Italy during the academic year, and then I went to Argentina my academic year, but it was not at the same time. Like she went,
because I was already done with school and I was working by then in Korea. Did we have a crazy night?
So basically my sister my whole life up until that point was a very goody tissues. Yes,
I was a goody tissue.
Goody two shoes? Yeah, goody two shoes. She never did anything bad. Very good.
What, did I do things bad afterwards?
No, but I never saw you in that light, you know? Like, I've never seen her drink. We've never gone out together. And we were in London together. We're both of age.
Yeah, I did have some fun memories together. Yeah, so we went to Leaworth Cove together with a group of like 7 of us. It was like 3 guys and like 4 girls or something.
Yeah, I think it was a good
And it was really fun. We took a train and we went down, and I
remember
like,
it being
pig's
freezing
blood.
cold. Oh yeah, we had a traditional.
Yeah, so it was already like breakfast time when we got there, and so we had like
baked
some random
beans, toast,
breakfast food at
baked
some
tomatoes,
random restaurant. Yeah, and like
it was like a very homey restaurant, like kind of like a pub, like a but not a city. It wasn't in a city. It was like a in like a farm.
So but basically we had pig's blood, and I was just like kind of shocked because it looked like burnt toast to me at first.
It's like a hockey puck, but like thinner and just black.
It's blood, right? Pig's blood. And then after that, we like went hiking in this like beautiful scenery like area. It was quite a walk, but it wasn't that exhausting because there were like little stairs on the way up the hill.
It wasn't exhausting. It was freezing cold,
but it was super windy.
I remember just being cold, and then at the end of it, we got stranded. There was no taxi.
Oh yeah.
So we were like 7, like
we were like hiding, like huddling.
Also, there was no place to buy food outside.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing. It was just all open space and all these tourist people like going up and down. I mean, there was a little bit nature. No, there was a food shop down there when we first started, but we were already up the hill, and it was like about an hour walk. It was pretty far.
And it's not like connected like a circle. It's like you start here, you end there.
Yeah.
And we like huddled all of us together, like waiting
we were literally
to get a
like
taxi.
this.
Like literally on the floor.
Yeah,
like,
but it was so
It was fun though.
Yeah.
It's a memory.
Yeah. Well, tell me about your favorite experience in London though.
All I remember is just dating in London. I met my first college boyfriend since transferring in London.
Ooh. Was it bomb though?
And there's just, I don't know if this is like a term that's like used nationally, but I know it's like kind of a term used amongst maybe our school, but I know for sure my friend group. But it's called like abroad goggles.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
So abroad goggles is what is, it's like tunnel vision. So like when you're abroad, like obviously you're not like in reality, like
right.
Okay, I shouldn't say that, but yeah, like you're away, and it's like summer, so summer schedules are different. You only take 1 class at a time, like one class per month. Actually,
you could take 2. Depends.
Like but typically you do 1. It's not like you have a schedule of different classes.
Right.
You just have 1 class at a time, and so you have a lot of free time, and they do that also so that you can travel. And so I feel like because you have like all this free time, and then like, you know, school, the workload's not heavy since you only have 1 class to focus on. So then you are not in reality. And you just and you're also narrowed down by like the group that you're surrounded with, because you're in a foreign country and all you have is like the group that you came with, you know. And so your selection becomes smaller. So it's like abroad goggles, you just like don't see things clearly. And
I was like working, so I was just trying to like network and stuff. But you were like going to Paris.
Oh yeah.
So when you got ditched by your friends. So our battery ran really low, so we did a little take 2.
Things might be a little different. Balloons have been kicked off for comfort.
Julie was just starting her story about how she got ditched in Paris by her friends.
It was, I think, one of our last nights, and I wanted to go see the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
I know, probably butchered it. But we were really close to it, but this had already been a really long day.
Yeah.
And so we had dinner. Everyone's tired. The girls want to go home. And I was like, this is my last night. I need to go see this. Yeah. Especially when it was only like like a quarter of a mile walk, but like again, we had walked all day in Paris, so they didn't want to walk anymore and they wanted to go home, so they taxied home, and I was like, I'm gonna go see it even if it's myself. And so that's when I got ditched, and then I went to go see it. But I'm not kidding you, I saw the most beautiful sunset of my life.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll insert photos. Yeah, it was honestly like the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. Like, it was so pink and so beautiful. And even though I was by myself, like, I was like having a really good time. And like, it was one of those moments where I felt like, you know, when people are like, oh, you need to go abroad by yourself, and like learn to be okay with yourself, and I was.
That was like the first time you like experienced like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm so glad I saw it, and I still went. Like, I don't regret going.
Right.
But yeah, that's when I got ditched, and I had to go see it alone. And I asked strangers to take photos for me, and when I told my sister that, she was like, "Were you worried about someone stealing your phone?"
Well, I was worried
because,
true. You know, not to say that this happens to everybody, but when I was studying abroad in Italy, and every group of friends that went to somewhere in Europe, they got something stolen. Like, one person always. And my friend got her money stolen.
No, it's something to be aware of.
I just thought, is it safe to trust, you know, strangers? We just have to be extra careful when we're abroad.
I didn't. You know?
Yeah, and you had a great time, and you met good people, and that's really important. Abroad together and apart was really fun, and I'm really glad that we went. Anyway, let's move on to a different topic, because I think we talked a little bit too much about being abroad.
We talked about roommates, you know, while we were in college.
Oh my gosh, do I even want to go there?
I don't really have any crazy stories. Like, I didn't have that bad of experiences. I know you've had some
crazy roommate stories.
Interesting roommate stories.
You have some stories too.
I mean,
your friends had crazy roommates.
Yeah, I was in an apartment style, so I had a roommate, and then obviously it was, so basically it's an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, 2 people per room. So there's 4 girls living there, and I had, and we call them suite mates, right? The people that we share apartments with, but not rooms with. And I've had like weird, interesting stories about them, but not necessarily.
Okay, tell me one. One that was like, what was this?
This wasn't, it didn't deal with me, but it was, okay, so let me begin. So there were 2 girls living in the other room, me and then obviously another girl.
Yeah.
One of the girls, girl A, was in her room a lot. She never left. She liked staying in her room. She's a homebody, whatever. I don't know what her situation was exactly. But she was in her room quite a bit. And then the other girl was the opposite. She, our school required that you had to be on campus, so she did that just for the requirement, and then she had an apartment off campus. And so she would only, like, she had a few, like, she would maybe spend like 3 nights out of that entire semester in that apartment. And then those 3 nights would be during like midterms and finals week. But yeah, so girl A and girl B are very different. They live together. But luckily girl A, she was home a lot. She got her whole place to herself. But girl B was also very, I don't want to say bougie, because I feel like that has a lot of negative connotations, but she had a lot of appreciation for fashion, and so she had a lot of designer name clothing and items that are really, like, higher priced items, whereas the other girl was like, ooh, Forever 21, $20 heels deal,
which
like,
I'm all for.
Yeah, which is totally great, but like they were just such opposites. And while girl B was not home, she was like, apparently girl B had came home to that apartment one night from like going out, and like she was like talking about how she ruined her shoes. Yeah, and like, and they weren't true? Yeah, it's true. And they weren't that like, okay, they were Sam Edelman heels, which is like $200 heels, like one around that price range. So they're not cheap, but they're also not like, you know, like Prada shoes. So yeah, apparently she had like spilled something, she ruined them, she told her roommate about it, and while girl B wasn't home, girl A was telling me this story, right? Like, I was in my apartment and she was telling me this story.
No.
And she told me that story, and then she continues to go through her closet, and she's like, who would, like, she told me this was $800 pair of boots, like, who would spend that much money on boots? And then she was like going through her clothes and like criticizing, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I felt so awkward because I'm also friends with girl B, you know, and like I live with these girls, so I want to be friendly with all of them. She put me in such an awkward position, and I was like, oh, like, yeah, they're cute, yeah, they are expensive, they are. I don't have the money for that right now, but if I did, I probably would spend it, so I'm not gonna say anything mean. But yeah, like, that was just like a really like, ever since that incident, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be careful what I share to you, because I don't know what else you're saying about me behind my back. So that was kind of my
I mean, definitely like living with friends and like or strangers from college is like really fun. Like first semester of my senior year, so I just like didn't know this girl that well, but I knew her through art class because I was actually a design minor. And I asked her, and she didn't have roommates. She was like pretty quiet, like also very homebody and very nice.
But you asked her?
I think we were talking about it, and she was like, "Oh, I don't have roommates." I was like, "Oh, I don't have roommates,"
okay.
and like, I was
just
like,
worked
"Okay,
out.
like perfect timing, like you." And then I was like, "Let me try to find some other people." And there were other girls that were already paired, so we like roomed together. Whatchamacallit? She was like very, very sensitive and very homebody. And so when I would come home, like I'm also like pretty sensitive, but like I'm not homebody. Like I'm usually always out and about, like doing things. And so I would like go in and out of the house, and like I think that kind of like bothered her because like she couldn't really have her own space. And I would come home really late because I would have clubs that I was involved in school, like associations. I had a lot of meetings, and I had late night classes, and I worked till like midnight sometimes at the library. So I guess I would like wake her up.
Like she just kind of wanted a space of her own, but like since you guys share rooms and have different lifestyles, you couldn't. That kind of clashed.
Yeah, it definitely clashed so many times to the point where she was like, "I'm gonna move out."
Yeah.
Without even like telling me.
Yeah, she never talked to you about it, huh?
And then she just like moved out, and I was just kind of like, "Oh, this is kind of sad," because like I feel like if I were that person, I would want to like respect them, and
work it out.
It's like her choice, and she chose to do it that way, and it worked out in a sense that she moved out, and then actually I thought, okay, yay, like I have the room to myself, and the school decided to put some other person in.
Oh wait, who got it? Yeah, who was put in?
A transfer student. Yeah.
So
for our next topic, this is gonna be our last topic.
Okay.
We have so many ideas and topics that we can do, but I think like actually talking about it, we realize how long this video is gonna be.
4 years, and a lot of stuff happened. During that time.
So I think we're gonna have to do like a separate dedicated video for each like college topic, like study abroad, and then just study abroad, and then roommates, and then
like a part 2.
Let's finish it off with like a fun procrastination story.
Where do we begin?
But I kind of want some ice cream.
Yeah.
And Kona's sleeping on my lap.
I'll take him.
Alrighty, so we are back with the third take because our camera died again. It's okay, guys. Also, Happy New Year! Woo! Alright,
Who went first last time?
who cares? Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Damn it.
So am I going first or second?
You want, so you choose.
I don't care, I'll just go first.
Okay.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Julie Procrastination Park. I am a professional procrastinator. I'm sure a lot of you guys are also in that field. So I procrastinated on the one thing you shouldn't procrastinate in, which is my capstone, thesis, whatever your biggest final project presentation of your major.
Yep.
Which is like your big, you work your entire
You pretty much work an entire year working on this project.
So I procrastinated the entire thing, and I bullshitted it the whole way. They try to keep you on track, but like I bullshitted all of that, procrastinated everything. And I just remember like mine was, again, I was filmed, so I had to present everything. I chose to do a script. Right in the middle of my short.
So good. I have to.
So I had chosen to do a script, so I wrote the entire script in like a week. Probably like less than that. I remember I stayed up literally 48 hours, like literally 48, like 2 full days without sleeping at all. Not even like a nap, like literally like typing, and I was typing, like finishing my script off till the last minute. And luckily, like I had mentioned where I lived before, I was very close to the campus, and my presentation was at night, so I knew I was gonna find parking. And so I didn't even factor in parking time. And I, like, let's say my presentation was at 6:30. I had finished typing it at 6:25, drove to school.
Oh my God.
And luckily where we print and where we present the buildings are like right next to each other. And so I parked right away.
Yeah.
Ran. I checked in first, and then I was like, I'm gonna use the restroom. Ran to go get, that's another tip. Run to go get it printed, run back, and then present.
Oh my gosh, you really were till the last minute.
I'm not kidding you when I say last minute. Like, it was till the last freaking minute. And this was like, and it was an annual presentation in like your classroom amongst your peers. Like, this is like a night like where you come dressed in professional clothes, and it's like all the seniors who are graduating presents.
It's a big
like,
studio.
Yeah, it's
like,
a big thing.
Yeah.
All your like film professors are there. Like your major professors, they email everyone in the major to be like, your senior capstone presentation night, like come watch it. So like you're in an auditorium presenting to like a bunch of people.
No.
And it's just like the room is so big and you have to fill it with like your energy, and you're like, you know, presenting your year's worth of work that you did in like a week.
Did you even like prep what you were gonna say?
I prepped it, so I didn't go first, so I prepped it while other people were going. But that's the thing, I took a speech class, so I was just like, this wasn't my first speech, like I was my senior year, like I've done plenty of presentations, so like I wasn't nervous for that.
Yeah.
And by now, like I'm like comfortable with the peers that are sat in front of me. And so I was just glad I wasn't going first, because you pick a number out of a hot hat.
Oh, so it was weird.
So it was so nerve-wracking. I was smack dab in the middle, which is like, I thought it was perfect to be, because you don't want to be first or last, you know? And so I saw how the first people were going, like how they're presenting to, you know, be like, ooh, I should do that, I shouldn't do that, I should mention this. And then, you know, did it all, went on stage, you know, quickly wrote something down so I would have something guiding me, presented it, and you know what? I did really well. I got an A, and I had told her previously that my professor was like, she secretly told me like outside of when everything the night was over, she was like, hey, like can you come help me like bring some stuff for my room? And I was like, yeah. And then on our way to her room, she was like, you know, I asked you to bring some stuff with me because I want to tell you like I think your work has potential. And I was like, pat on the back to myself.
Totally. I worked so hard the entire year.
My last yeah. But yeah, I know I'm not the only one who procrastinated. I know this girl sitting right next to me has as well. So please
I never procrastinate. I'm a goody.
Share us your story.
Well, I think what's different is I actually do plan things. I like break down my project and I will start working on it. When I start working on it, I realize how much longer it's gonna take and I don't give myself enough time. Then I burn out. And one similar to Julie, I like had a capstone, and ours was a little bit different. Like you had to present your like part of a monologue. Ours, we had like an entire campaign. We had to start, we had to make a product, and then we have to like research, we have to do the survey.
Yours is like a group project, right?
No, it was
individual.
Capstone is individual. Group project was our first year.
Oh, okay.
Our capstone is all on your own, so you have to make up your own product, do your own research. I ran over like 160 surveys. And you have to do the surveys, you have to do the research, you have to implement like all the theories that you learn, and then you have to do media planning, media buying, like what media channels you're going to use. You have to make a book, you have to make the product, you have to film commercials, you have to film like, you know, all of this, and you have to make a PowerPoint, and you have to present. So I did most of it, but towards the end, you know, when like the heavy boring part comes, I ended up like pushing that back to the last minute. I'll be fine, like it's not that hard. Well, I ended up not being fine because I stayed up the entire night before our presentation. That was not part of my plan. I was trying to get, you know, enough sleep so that I could look fresh for my presentation. And there are people that graduated from our school in that major that came and watched.
Yeah, that's what us too.
It was my professor and one or two other people that were like 10 years, 20 years into their career. My class was, I think, like in the afternoon around like 2 to 3 p.m. So I had time in the morning, and I was up all night like until the sun rose, and then I ran to the printer station, and as I was at the printer station I was still working, and there was like 2 other people, and they're like, oh, you too, you know, kind of look, you know, like pretty
little procrastination club going on.
Running up the hill, and like the thing is our dorm like was like down here, and then our like communication building was like really high up. There's like a stairway called Stairway to Heaven because you really cannot see like the end of it. It has a nice view from the building, but like to get up there, it's like a major uphill.
Crazy.
I'm carrying my laptop, carrying like 3-4 heavy books. Oh my gosh, that friend and I, we were like, okay, we don't have enough time, we're gonna book it, you know? And literally to the last minute, we're like carrying all of this, like we make it, and then as I'm there and I hear people present, you know, doing my thing, and so I told the teacher, like, and everybody there, oh, I'm really nervous, like I don't know if you guys can tell, you know. And then I like started, and I was like, yeah, okay, let me ask some questions. And then towards the end, she's just like, "Oh, you were nervous?" Like,
I
didn't
swear,
seem nervous
it's
at all. I was just like,
college is about who can beat us the well.
yeah. Or like, I just don't know, when you're on like a time crunch,
The
you have nothing. Yeah, it's like, well, if I don't finish this, I'm screwed. So I'm gonna, you know, finish it either like good or bad. And yeah, I really want to build some really exciting and like helpful content for you guys. So do leave us a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.
Hope you enjoyed our college talks. We love talking about it. So if you want to
hear more, we talked through it literally through.
We have a lot more. So
yeah. I mean, even if it's not college topics, there's so many other topics that we can cover, and so many topics that I can personally cover. But if you'd like to see more of my sister, like, do let me know in the comments below. And we have some couple of fun contents coming up anyway, so hope you guys stay on the lookout for that. Happy New Year's, everyone. Stay safe. Hope you guys enjoyed our party and enjoyed your food. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Guest
Kona. Oh, my baby.
Oh, you guys can't really see him.
By the way, if you guys haven't followed me, I haven't done a major update, but I got a dog.
He's too busy sniffing the food.